This is a First Alert Weather Special Report.
Good morning on this Saturday, September 23rd. I'm Natalie Duddridge. We are streaming live here on CBS News New York with breaking news. Tropical storm Ophelia just made landfall in North Carolina, and we are feeling some of those effects here. Our Nick Caloway is checking out the roads in the mobile weather lab. But first, we're going to start with meteorologist Craig Allen. So what are some of those effects we're feeling here, Craig?
I think you can see now the rain is starting to pick up in and around the city and the 5 boroughs, and I'm sure it's starting to get a little bit heavier where Nick is now in Staten Island. So now you've got the rain starting to work its way on up, and you'll see on radar just how heavy it could get in just a little while. So 58 degrees right now in the city. It's a cool northeast wind, sustained winds at 28 miles per hour now, and they're gusting over 30 in many areas. So it has more of like a coastal or nor'easter feel to it, doesn't it? It's going to remain damp and breezy for the next several days. As a matter of fact, I was going to say hours, but days. And you can see the center of circulation right here made its way in near Emerald Isle along the North Carolina coastline. And it will continue now in a north-northwest and then bending northeast direction as we go through the next 48 hours or so. So in other words, basically following the I-95 corridor here and also weakening a little bit as it makes its way on up, because now it's over land. It's lost its source of fuel, which was the warm Atlantic waters out there. But here's that band of rain just about getting to Staten Island right now. And this is the heaviest rain that we've seen so far this morning, this particular band. Yes, there's one that's already on up into the Hudson Valley and central sections of Connecticut. And there's that little low that we were just in just a little while ago across Long Island in the city. But now you see the darker blues, the yellow. It's all moving on up into our area. And we will get these waves, wave after wave of rain from time to time. Zooming in on it a little bit more, you notice as we go make our way on down the Garden State Parkway, it is pouring right now for this area. And the wind is also running at around 20 to 30 miles per hour. So coming in off the water, and John Elliott will be in Long Branch in just a little while. We are likely to see very heavy waves, wind, rain continuing for the next several hours into the afternoon. Then maybe another little lull, and then it comes back again for this evening. And then again tomorrow, there'll be another round of rain. This is not going away all that quickly. This is a long duration event. So as we speak to you right now, there's a little bit of a break across parts of Fairfield County, lower Westchester County, but you see how the deep blues here are making their way on up from the bottom of the screen. That's your heavier rain for the time being. It's in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. The winds are running at around 15 to 25. We are now getting gusts up to 33 miles per hour around the city and 31 miles per hour down along the Jersey Shore. But here's the good news, if we can find some good news in what is going to be a washed out weekend. Now that the center of the storm is inland, I mentioned that obviously it's going to start losing steam. It doesn't have that warm Atlantic water to thrive off of. Notice that it does decrease. The tropical storm force winds do decrease by the time we get to late this afternoon and on into this evening. And then we just got ourselves a standard windy, rainy forecast for tonight and on into your Sunday. So Ophelia is going to weaken over the next 24 hours and transition to what we call post-tropical. It'll lose the structure, the warm core, and but what happens when it does that is these things expand somewhat, so there will be even more areas, an expansive area of wind and rain. The remnants will drift north really slow, so this weather is going to stay dreary with waves of rain right on into at least tomorrow afternoon. With all the downpours, some places are going to wind up with 1 to 3, 2 to 3 inches of rain here, and 1 to 2 locally north and west of the city, a little bit farther away from the track of the storm. Strongest winds, definitely the Jersey Shore, and it's also going to be bringing in the water right in from off the Atlantic. 30 to 45 mile per hour winds for us, and lighter winds for the northern and western suburbs. And 5 to 10 footers are going to come smacking across the south shore of the island and along the Jersey Shore here too. So once again, beach erosion becomes a major factor. And so does some flooding, obviously, at time of high tide. We do have a coastal flood warning now for portions of Ocean County on down into Burlington County and Atlantic County as well, where the tides could bring in, well, they could be about 2 to 3 feet above where they normally should be. And that's going to be, more than ankle deep out there. And that's going to be salt water, too, so be very careful about that. And this advisory, well, it may not be quite as deep, but the advisory goes on up to Long Island as well as the Connecticut coastline and also to the Sound Shore areas of Westchester. And again, here are your high tides basically between 2 and 6 p.m. this afternoon. While all this was going on, you woke up this morning and the rain started to fall, and it's a brand new season. What a way to bring in the autumn season, which began at around 2:49, 2:50 this morning. So take a look now at our 7-day forecast. It's just a red alert, nasty, nasty Saturday. Sunday, not much better. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there is slow improvement, but notice temperatures do stay cool right through the course of this week, Natalie.
Yes, Craig, we are certainly feeling those effects of fall. Thank you so much. And we want to check out more scenes from the tri-state area with our photographers on the ground. We have a look from Long Beach, Long Island here, where the winds are picking up. Those waves you can see are gaining intensity. The town of Hempstead has activated its storm response team, which is ready to clear storm drains or remove any downed trees from roadways that residents report. Ophelia's impact also being felt now on the Jersey Shore. We have images from Long Branch earlier this morning. It almost looks like a tropical island here. You can see swells coming in, the wind making those palms sway. Local emergency officials have been urging residents to be ready for those high winds and also possible flooding to watch out for. Now we also want to go south to Maryland. This is how it looked before sunrise. This is Ocean City, Maryland, where you can see some flooding there already, and the governor there has declared a state of emergency. So now we're going to get back here to our roads. Nick Caloway live in the mobile weather lab. He was in New Jersey. He's on the move. So Nick, where are you headed now?
Find some rain.
Yeah, right now we're headed towards South Beach on Staten Island, and the heavy rain has definitely started to fall even in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so. You can see the view from the mobile weather lab. We just got off the Staten Island Expressway. The heavier rain started to move in about 10 to 15 minutes or so. As the day progresses, we are expecting more of this heavy rain and higher winds. Of course, the real concern will be the chance of flooding along the coast and in low-lying areas or areas with poor drainage, and that is especially true later in the day as that tide starts to come in. Again, right now we're just seeing this first wave of rain. It started this morning about 4:30 in the morning with some light rains, and just within the last 15-20 minutes, the rain started to pick up a lot. I'm seeing some trees blowing around, flags blowing around a lot more, so it's starting to pick up in intensity here. Natalie?
Well, Nick, we appreciate you being out there, your photographer, because it gives everybody a sense at home of what you're dealing with, even if it is just rain and winds at this moment. Nick, thank you so much, and stay with us for continuing coverage. We will have another live update at 7:30 right here, streaming on CBS News New York.